This story is age-old and yet somehow also brand new. It starts, as many of the old stories do, with a mounting assemblage of dead virgins sent into the lair of a great beast to pacify his demands, each one with little hope of ever coming out again. This is a state of affairs that is endemic to many such stories. Virgins are so often the playthings of beasts, but even in such a context, after a time, the mounting dead puts a bad smell in the noses of men, and cannot go on forever without them growing weary of death. Weary of the waste of beauty and youth, which ought to be shared out among themselves by right, surely. And so the men called a meeting, and their leader, a lord of that land, gave command that all the women must gather and confer amongst themselves to select a woman who might tame this beast. That it be the kindest, most patient, most wise woman who should be chosen, who might placate the beast and find the gentle heart beneath. And so the women of the land assembled and conferred, and after some time did indeed send forth the kindest, most patient, most wise among them to appear before the Lord. The Lord was well pleased. "Do you undertake this task?" he asked her from atop his horse, already gathering its reins in anticipation of imminently moving off. There was a pregnant silence as she did not at once make her answer. He looked up from his horse's reins and down at the woman, for the first time noticing her poise and her elegant stature as he awaited her response. "No," she said. "No?" he replied, baffled by this turn of events. "What do you mean, no?" he asked her. "No, I do not undertake it," she replied calmly. "Well, then you must not be the wisest, most patient, most kind of all the women." "I may not be, in truth. Only God could know such a thing, but the women have conferred, and in their own estimation declared me the most patient, most wise, most kind, and I have humbly accepted this distinction." "But surely there must be one more patient, more—" He trailed off mid-utterance. "No," she said again. "Then send forth the second most patient, most wise, most kind, if she will undertake to do it." "No," the woman said again. "What do you mean, no?" he said, growing more agitated. "Do you also speak for her?" "I speak for all the women when we say no. None among us will undertake it." "I am quite perplexed," said the Lord. "It is like this," said the woman. "The women are tired. For too long we've been attempting to save the land from wounded and tyrannical beasts, and we refuse to do it any longer. We simply do not have it in us, in any of us, to tame this beast. We have lost too many good, kind, patient, wise women already, and we will not lose more." She looked suddenly grave and steadfast, and when her voice came forth now, it was edged with defiance. "No more maidens will go to be devoured. No mothers will come to mother, and no crones will come to bring the benefit of their wisdom. This time we say no." "We say no!" one of the women grouped behind her cried out. "No!" cried another. "No!" another. "Why, this is unconscionable," cried the Lord. "What are we to do with the beast? It rampages, it kills, it is destroying the ground beneath its feet. We are all afraid of it. We know not how to tame it as a woman might. He cries only for women. It is all he seems to want. It is the only thing that pacifies him." The woman sighed. She stepped forward, approaching the Lord. A small gasp escaped the assembled women, for such things were not usually done. She reached out and offered her hand to the Lord's noble steed and began gently to stroke its mane as she said, "My Lord, the feminine principle, that which exists within all people to soothe, to comfort, to transform, already exists within you men, and now you must call upon this gift collectively if you are to tame this beast and get to the soft belly beneath." She stilled her hand for a moment, looking wistful. "This is nonsense," cried the Lord. "Nonsense," cried one of his men. "Nonsense," another. "Look here, I command you as your Lord to tame this beast," he said, losing his temper now. "No," she said again. "Men," he cried, "arrest these women." Nobody moved. "Arrest them, I say." Still nobody moved. Tentatively, one of the men put forth, "All of them?" It had not occurred to him until now that the men were significantly outnumbered. He flinched and shrank back a little, enough that the women noticed and were emboldened. They had shifted their centre of gravity lower and now were beginning to hoik up their skirts and loosen their corsets. They were ready for an altercation if it should come to that. "How do we do it without hurting the ladies?" one man cried out. A woman's laugh rang out from near the back of the crowd. "Don't laugh at me, Muriel," he cried out. "That's my wife," he said to the Lord. "I know her laugh anywhere." At this, the Lord looked utterly defeated, all loftiness gone out of him. He pulled his horse's reins and began a retreat, his men following behind him. The women, feeling waves of relief run through them, laughed uproariously, their muscles releasing, returning to relaxed stances and clapping one another on the back.